Imagine being able to get any answers for any questions, any level of detail, anytime you want. All languages are spoken, all dialects. Plus, you hear everything just the way you personally need to hear it. Welcome to a YouTube video about the power of listening, the power of being, the power of allowing, the power of feeling and seeing too. Whether it's for your personal life, career, business, relationships, that soulmate, health, where to go on vacation, how to pay for that vacation, imagine having access to this information anytime you want. It would be life-altering. It'd be a game changer. And the best part is, you're already doing it daily. You're just not giving yourself any credit for this. So in this video, the longer video, we'll explore the simple act of listening, being here, and getting out of what you know. So the only rub is, what will you allow for? You've got to allow for the concept that there's something bigger than what you currently know, and that you're actually fully capable of doing basic listening. So what are we talking about here? Again, any answers to any questions, any level of detail. People have been doing this for 10 or 11 years. I don't see their questions, I don't see their answers. It's fantastic for anything. You're an artist, get artists' answers. You're a musician, get answers on where you should go get booked. You're an athlete, hear when you should push it for training and when you should back off so you don't get injured. If you're a scientist, get your formulas answered. Shave 10 years off your R&D or your research. Odds are if you're a scientist, you're just going to fill that freed up time with more research. But imagine being able to get advice, again, from an amazing array of experts, but it's not McKinsey and Company. It's not any of the gurus out there. It's not Tony Robbins, Deepak Chopra, anybody in particular. In fact, we've all tapped into it, and some of the experts out there do talk about it. It could be considered automatic writing, it could be considered just good sage advice, and so on. But in a way, this is sort of like not having a computer, not having a calculator, not having electricity, and suddenly you have electricity, a calculator, a computer. I'm talking about any level of detail, your personal details, what would be perfect for you on your soul's path, your unique life journey. I'm talking about getting out of everything that's up here. That's thinking, unconsciousness, unlove, judging, reacting, fear, stress, worry, knowing to the preclusion of possibility. We do a lot of being stuck up top. Stuff happens to us. My problem is, my situation is, I don't know love, you've lost a loved one. The ebbs and flows of life. When you're here, you have no limits. When you're here, you're able to do basic listening, basic feeling, basic seeing, being. You're at peace. You're at one with the soccer ball. You're one with all in life. So what I'm talking about is greater awareness when you're here. Now, all of us forget all the time. It's called thinking. It's called being in the ego. It's called resistance. It's called a little bit of negativity. It's called not being present. How about that? That's a very popular term these days. So what I'm suggesting is having your cake and eating it too. There are no calories in this cake. A cake equals a smile. A cake equals your goal. A cake equals a new job. You feel like wherever you're at, work-wise, the boss, the coworkers, what you're doing, it's not satisfying. You feel there's more in life. What I'm talking about is you can hear, feel, and see angels, guides, your passed over loved ones, figures from ancient Greece, Plato, or from Rome, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, Native American chiefs, Dolnaif, Red Shirt, Geronimo, Crazy Horse, tons of others too, White Buffalo, Calf Woman, Black Elk, Chief Joseph, and a few others. India, Ganesh, Krishna, Lakshmi, Sai Baba, Sri Kaleshwar. It goes on and on. Mother Teresa. Religious figures, Mary, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha. More philosophical figures. Steve Jobs had an astrophysicist or a scientist type from Europe who wanted Steve Jobs. Got into a session with me to meet angels and said that was the silliest thing he had ever said. Why would he want to meet Steve Jobs when he's in the middle of meeting amazing angels who are pure love, not here to interfere, just here to help out and get you your answers. And in the end of the session, he still ended up meeting Steve Jobs. So I should add Steve Jobs to the list. So here's the proposition. The universe is far bigger than we're ever going to grasp. It's love, it's supportive, it's here to help. And the only thing that pulls us away from that support, that help, getting any answers anytime we need, is us being up here. When you're up here, you're incapable of doing real listening. The listening happens when you're here. You're actually hanging with someone at the supermarket that you love. It's your favorite person. You love to run into them once a week, once a month. You hang on every word. You're actually present. And when you're present, you have to be here. It's pure consciousness, pure love, unconditional love. Being in the now. Call it anything you want. There's 1,000 ways to call, letting go or thinking up here. Unconsciousness, consciousness. Being at peace, resisting. Knowing something to the preclusion of possibility. So that's all this is about. During any given day, and you'll give yourself no credit for this, your ego doesn't want you to know, your psyche doesn't want you to know that you let go all the time during the day. When you flip a light switch, brush your teeth, fall asleep at night on a good night, those are considered like minute, small, micro affairs. The ego, the psyche, doesn't have a lot of energy. It can't focus on a lot of stuff at once. It's not going to berate you on how well you flipped the light switch last Tuesday. It is going to help you question yourself, not do enough self-love. It's going to encourage doubt, fear, worry, stress, what the neighbor's doing. Am I doing okay at my job? Am I unhappy? Because the more you fear, worry, stress, the more you're out of here. The more you're disconnected from your higher self, your soul, the flow of the universe, the force from Star Wars. You've been living in both worlds. And there's only one world in the big picture. It's just pure love. Constant, all around you, in you. And I'll say it this way. You can be happy now in this very moment without a reason in the world. And that'll challenge everything. Forget angels, forget guides, forgetting any of your answers at any level of detail, anytime you want. Where to go on vacation, the best vacation in the world, get that answer. How to pay for it, get those answers. You can be happy now in this very moment for no reason whatsoever. That challenges our entire existence as adults. As a kid, you were happy all the time, climbing trees, doing this, imagining that. No problemo. So what changed? Doing all the adulting, all the serious stuff, just meant a lot of thinking came in, a lot of structure. The more your belief system is a certain way, and the more you buy into that belief system, you cut yourself off from the flow of life. Anytime you want, if you haven't noticed, your opinions change all the time. Concrete facts and opinions shift. When you look back at how you were 10 years ago, it's probably not how you were today. So there's something beyond human thinking that allows you to get to your heart, to enjoy a hug, your dog, your neighbor, your kid, to enjoy a sports game where your team won and you had a really good time watching the TV or in person, or you went for a walk, or you surfed, enjoyed a sunset, sunrise, read a book. There's a million ways to get into your heart. The thing is, most of us are running around doing the rat race, and it's not some bank that's failing right now. It's not some commercial bank. It's not Credit Suisse. The rat race is our own thinking, our lack of awareness, our believing to the extent that everything that's happening up here is so real that we can pull out of love and not be here very often. That's called taking a breath, a smile. Most of us, we're breathing all day long, and we're back to that duality concept. It's not really about my words. Always try. No try. Yoda says no try. Archangel Gabriel says always try. They're both correct. It just depends on the perspective. But when you get into your heart, it's the energy behind the words that we're talking about here. We're talking complete positivity. No limits, complete potential. Go in any direction you want. You have a unique life path. You have a soul or higher self. You know this. If there's one thing that you know coming into this video, you've heard your little voice talk to you before. And I'm not talking the ego little voice that's judging others, reacting, fearing, stressing, worrying. Oh, I don't like this. Your little voice is the supportive, loving one that encourages you in the middle of that golf swing on the golf course, and you smack that ball. Now, it'd be a little odd if an angel came in, or your Aunt Martha, or your twin brother who's passed over, and they said, smack that ball just as you were getting ready to hit it. You'd probably freak out and shank the ball right in the middle of the tourney. So try to realize that your higher self, your soul, speaks to you all the time. The real question here, and your angels and your guides and your relatives, your ancestors, there's a lot of cultures around the world, New Zealand, Native American, India, that in Asia and so on, that really value the ancestral links. You're surrounded all the time with loving figures, They're in you and around you. If you need to picture it as a multidimensional thing, then think little balls of light. If you need to see them around you with or without wings for angels, fine. People can see full on and walk with angels as well. You can see an angel in human form. I have photos of angels. That's not really the point here. The real question is, where are you placing your focus? Where are you for paying attention to what life and the universe are telling you? It shouldn't take a near-death experience or a car wreck or a divorce or a job layoff to reach you. You had it all as a kid. You had it all in certain moments of your adulting. And you have it all every given day during the little things. If you happen to like a certain cup of coffee, you're in New York City, Chicago, LA, Paris, London, wherever, you're picking up a cup of Java from a stand on the sidewalk, and you happen to like that person who's serving you the coffee. It makes your day to smile and say thank you, and you mean it. That's everything. That's the secret of life, the secret moments of life. That's sharing and caring. In that moment, you're practicing, the pinnacle of success. In that moment, you're living to your fullest. You're smiling, you're beaming, you're connected to your higher self, you're shining, your eyes sparkle. That's all this is about. But yes, you can have all your answers. You can get any level of detail. Again, career, business, health. You simply have to get from here to here, and then have the guts to ask, and then have the bigger guts to actually listen. I always recommend pen and paper. The record's 49 pages of answers set by an Australian, maybe 48 pages in 9 hours. I just checked in every couple hours. Now, a lot of people do automatic writing and everything else, but that's not what this is about. You're actually meeting personality. You're actually meeting your guardian angel. You're actually meeting Plato, Einstein, Gandhi, Vishnu, Krishna, Ganesh, Lakshmi, Dolknife, Red Shirt, Geronimo, Mary, Jesus, Muhammad, St. Francis, Mother Teresa, if I didn't already say her, and 110, 150 angels, and it's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands more, if you count everybody's angels, guardian angels, helping them, and so on. And you can see them initially as little balls of light. I've got photographs of angels. Check out my website. I do stuff for folks, blow sage smoke through 2 screens, just to try to show you there's no time and space, there's no limits. And obviously when I say that, there's time and space. You can be late for something. But let's talk about time for a second. You've got a professor who's absolutely fantastic. You love the professor. It's a 1-hour class. It goes by in 15 minutes. Or you're so into the conversation, it feels like it went on for 2 hours. Let's do a vacation instead. Oh, it could be a bad professor too. You go to this Caribbean island for a week, and you do it every 2 years. And this 1 week that you go, 1 year, it feels like you were there for 2 months, 2 weeks. Time just slowed down, stretched out, and you were amazed. You've never felt more relaxed. And the next time you go 2 years later, it goes by in the blink of an eye. 2 days later, it feels like the vacation's over. You're already getting back on the airplane. You've experienced this. Now, it's a set finite amount of time. So which is it? If it's a boring professor, you're like this, it's going to feel like it's a 4-hour class that was just 1 hour. So you've experienced the whole time isn't quite what it seems. When you're having fun, time flies. There's something to it. The same thing with space. You can see the sage smoke. Go to any of the videos. I was on 26 shows last year. I did it for 20 sets of hosts, not just one host, 2 hosts, producers, audience members. Smell it. It's in a lot of my videos on my YouTube channel, Angels, Positivity, and Love, the new YouTube show in 2023. You can watch guests who have already done the smoke before the show to kind of warm them up so they're less nervous and more excited. But they've also done it with me in the months or years previously. And they've also met and seen, heard angels, Einstein again, Gandhi. It's 170 plus figures. These figures, again, angels come in all shapes, sizes, colors. They're just here to help. They're technically learning from us, but from our perspective, they're perfect. But they're still learning, and that's the name of the game. There's knowing and there's knowledge and there's concrete stuff up top. Reality, being an adult, what's practical, what we know, all of it precludes possibility for the most part. And then there's continued learning and expansion, and that can only happen here. And that's what life is all about. And what are you learning and what are you expanding towards? More love, more being, more allowing, more letting you shine through and following your pursuits, your passions, your goals, what you love to do. Because when you shine, others shine. Do it that way. You're a ball of light, and on a good day, your ball of light goes out. People feel that presence. Your laughter is hope, inspiration, joy, healing for others. Your smile, same thing. People need validation all the time. They just need a little sense of love, a little sense of compassion. A stranger, a homeless person, your neighbor. Getting out of what you know allows you to connect with others. And you think it's connecting on a on a human-to-human level. You're at a stoplight, or you're at a four-way stop sign sort of intersection, and you decide you're just going to wave that nice little lady through. Let her get going through the stop sign before you. That's soul-to-soul interaction going on. You're sending positive vibes, even if you just think it's a little emotion. It makes a difference. Every little thing that you do is energy, and every little thing that you do makes a difference. And every little thing that you do is energy in one direction or energy in another direction. We'll just call it higher vibration or lower vibration. This is for you to figure out. You may not do it this lifetime. It may be on your last breath. They talk about your life flashing before your eyes. You see everything. You see it as it is. What was love? What was wasted time and energy? And I'm telling you now, there's a lot of wasting of energy, and a lot of that isn't going to change. When you're in your thinking, most of it's a waste of energy. And it's not in the cards for thinking to go away for humanity. We're not going to suddenly just be kumbaya, love 100% of the time. In fact, angels said 7% less thinking a week or day, whichever way you do it. I keep pulling out the calculator and I keep forgetting what the number is, but just picture it as 2 hours and 20 minutes a day less thinking. That's the gold medal standard we're talking about for letting go, for being, for relaxing, for sliding into your unique life path that you've already signed up for. It's waiting for you, and it's never too late. You could be 70 years old listening to this and having beaten yourself up for being an investment banker. You're probably not 70 years old if you're an investment banker. A lot of them pass early. But you get the idea. It's never too late to begin living, to begin loving, to begin allowing more, loving more. It begins with self-love and appreciation that you've already got it all. You never skipped a beat, lost a step. So if it was junior prom, if it was that college soccer field moment of success, whenever you were elated, excited when you started that business, but now it's boring or you're feeling weighed down, you never lost that vibration. It's in you. It's just like love is a constant in you and around you, but you only know it when you see an amazing movie, Disney movie, or you fall in love. And for a few weeks, you're skipping around saying hi to the bluebirds standing on the branch. That vibration is in you and around you, joy, enthusiasm, creativity. There's a million sub-variations, but when you're here, you get to tap into anything you want. And you can get help with any activity as well. You need to go do a lot of gardening. You can ask angels to pop into your ball of light, and they can pick up the load for you. They can share or use their energy, and you sort of just go along for the ride a little bit. I've done runs where 70% of my run has been angels helping me through a lot of North San Antonio hills on a hot, humid day, and I had no business finishing that run in such good order. And I've had others listen and get the answers. 70% of that effort was angels. So I'm really talking no limits. Get any answers to any questions, all languages spoken, all dialects. And if you think about your makeup, your personality makeup, how you look at issues, how you look at life, politics, sports teams, it's the New York Jets. They're going to get Aaron Rodgers, but it's definitely not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Or it's soccer, it's cricket. It's just how you roll. You don't like sushi. We limit with our value system, and that value system, it changes over time, but ultimately that value system is who we are. So it's really nice that you can get any answers to any questions, any level of detail. Who to call for sales, top 30, top 100 people who would love to do business with you, when to make that call, the best way to phrase your outreach to that person if you're in sales, how incredible is that? But what's even more incredible than any answer to any question, any level of detail, all languages and all dialects, is angels, your relatives, your guides just know you. They know exactly what your core is about. They know your higher self, your soul, they know you, they know your ego, and they know how to navigate the minefield of where you're putting your resistance, where you're putting your obstacles. So they know how to just say it the right way as well, that it'll reach you here, that you'll be on cloud 9. You'll be skipping or whistling, and you don't normally whistle. When you get the answer, you'll be fired up. You'll be inspired. And you don't have to use words either. When you get an answer, you can get it like a symphony of energy coming in that's worth 100,000 words or 1,000,000 words. If we're talking about getting your book idea, you don't just close your eyes and get a vision of the book cover given to you with the book title, and you can get that written out as well. You can get the, skeleton outline, chapter titles. Who should be the other author that's on the cover of the book at the top with the short little endorsement phrase. You can get the bulk of the book given to you. Take a nap, meditate, walk, sleep on the beach. Do whatever you need to do to allow the universe, your crew, your cheerleading squad that never leaves you, you're never alone, you're always heard. Give them a chance to help you out even more creatively, whether it's for business or your personal stuff and so on. But you have to be willing to get here. You have to learn the difference between thinking, judging, fear, stress, worry, reacting, preclusion of possibility. Narrowing your life force and experience in life down to dental floss if it's Scrooge from Christmas Carol. There's a lot of people that to get to here or to show a little bit of kindness, compassion, or to do self-love, the closest they're going to get is a conscious breath. I'm not talking the normal breathing. I'm talking an actual stop everything, drop the iPhone, turn off the TV, sit still and just go 2 seconds in, as one of my guests said on Angels, Positivity, and Love. 4 seconds out. Mother Teresa said that. Compassion is like a deep breath for many because we're so stuck on the routine. And life's not a routine. Live it. Allow more, love more, be more in the moment, connect more. It's that whole work smart, not hard phrase, except the work smart is be smart. Get to your being, to be or not to be, Shakespeare. This is already something you tap into all the time, again, at a basic level, for the light switch, the toothbrush, falling asleep at night. But your ego is going to keep you so busy on these big situations. What's going on at work, the merger, the layoffs, the health crisis. Health crises, generally speaking, when you're not in your heart and you're spending too much time up here, there's a ripple effect. You get more and more stress, you get less and less sleep, stuff starts to happen and build up. Life will always give you an indicator as to what's going on. The real question is, when are you going to pay attention? When are you going to pay attention to what's bigger than you're ever going to grasp? I spent 2 years trying to grasp angels, and I got this far. Trust that they exist, let them do their jobs, ask for help. And we're always asking, or we're always putting out our energy 24/7, whether you know it or not. And if you don't know it and you're not that aware and you didn't realize that when you label someone else or you say you're not worthy, that's creating negativity and you're getting blasted with like an invisible red energy. Let's just do it as red energy. I'm not trying to knock red energy, it's laughter. But let's use red energy as a bad energy somehow. And boy, wouldn't it be amazing if you saw when you spoke and you were being negative about John, the neighbor 20 houses down. Boy, he does this and I don't like him at all and he's a jerk. He's never waved hi. Wouldn't it be great if you saw a red light go out and you just blasted John? But what you don't realize is you're actually sizzling yourself with the negativity. And a shocker here, you can actually see that energy as well. You can see energy because consciousness is energy. Everything is energy. Everything is love. I'll quote Mary, open your eyes to see love. And if you listen to Bill Moyers with Joseph Campbell on The Power of Myth, what a great audio series to have in your car. If you're not going to listen to Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now, or A New Earth audio with his presence in your automobile stuck in traffic in LA, do Joseph Campbell, Power of Myth. He says in one of those little micro episodes, they're all 3 minutes to 12 minutes. They're perfect bite-sized things for your walks, for your runs, for your drives. He says, I think consciousness is energy. Everything is consciousness. Everything is alive. You can hear trees. You can hear a rock. People in India will tell you this. There's so many different levels of awareness. Many levels of awareness and compassion inside each person, inside man. So what this is about in the big picture is just a little more kindness, gentleness, a little less rat race. Mankind's ready for a lot less killing, a lot less violence, a lot less lack. There's so much lack at a societal level. And then we've all got our own personal lack. And it's legit. It's pain. Oh, my job, I'm not making enough money. I can't pay my bills. My kids have this situation. You don't understand my situation. I've got 6 kids and 12 dogs. My problem is one of the top 10 lines of ego. Ego is there to protect you. It's there to serve you. It's like your inner child and so on. There's nothing really bad about it in one sense, but You can meet and tame your ego. Your ego is, generally speaking, in your driver's seat for your automobile in life as you're traveling through life, and you don't have to have it as the driver. As soon as you recognize the difference between awareness, and thinking, resistance, negativity, knowing, the type of knowledge that precludes possibility, that doesn't do any good. Knowing tends to just block learning and expansion. So it's very interesting for the scientific community. If they would park what they know long enough to allow for more possibility, so many situations, so many research questions, done. So much faster. It's not something where we have a proclivity towards, is absolute listening or trusting that the universe isn't about mankind. It's not really up to us to fix everything. There's a lot of different levels of consciousness out there. There's animal consciousness. There's a lot of love going on, and we're getting a lot of support. But the real question is, what will you allow for? Will you even allow for getting out of your mind, reality, thinking, the stuff that makes you miserable, the stuff that Buddhists term suffering? When you go through pain, you don't have to go through it very long. Feel what you feel, but don't judge. Find a way to do the classic, either Esther Hicks, Byron Katie, Eckhart Tolle. They all talk about address the situation, walk away, or a third choice of some sort. Feel what you feel, do not judge. 3 Native American chiefs gave that to me, that phrase, that mantra, 8 or 10 years ago. So what am I getting at again? The universe is super huge. Light beings, angels, fairies, your relatives, your pets passed over. But let's back it up a step. You can hear your pooch. I got one sleeping right here. You can hear them talk to you. Everything speaks. Dolphins talk. You've connected to animals at some point in your life, and you might just think it's sort of a synchronistic thing. Oh, my dog's telling me he or she needs to go out. But think of it a different way. Those old school phones, the ones like this, you used to think of someone, pick up the phone, and they were calling you at the same time. Or you just think about a person, and you run into them the next day. You've been thinking about them for like 3 weeks. That's all this is. There's a bigger consciousness, a slipstream, that when you tap into it, it's dance, it's singing, it's joy. It's when you're writing the book and it was no effort whatsoever. 2 chapters done in 2 hours. Short book. It's when you go for a run, you only wanted to go for 5 miles and you ended up running 10. Again, the music was fantastic. You had a really good time. There's a million ways to get into your heart, and there's a million ways to stay out of your heart. Your ego wants you stuck, and it wants you stuck in concrete thinking, concrete dilemmas, concrete situations, so that you feel like there's no way you could ever love again. There's no way you could ever be happy again. Because then the ego is in charge, it's needed, it's necessary, and it's a lot of drama. Drama or Rama, whatever I'm trying to say. No drama, just Rama. So you've got a choice where you put yourself. And where you put your focus is where you put your focus in any given minute. Anytime you want, you can be in your heart, breathing, experiencing life, one with life. And you can get guidance to be able to take any steps in any direction you wish. As soon as you recognize there's a difference between the unconsciousness, resistance, thinking, judging, not allowing, and versus allowing, consciousness, love, unconditional love, possibility, having fun, that's when you can let the universe dust off that unique life path. You signed up for something coming in, and everyone has a unique life path. And when you're doing it, you're on cloud 9, and you shine, and everyone else around you benefits in a ripple effect from you doing what you love most. You've got passions, you've got skills, whether you know it or not. And I guess I'm going to get back to this thing where you've already experienced the maximum pinnacle of success. And we'll just call it that, flipping the light switch. I got a light switch over here. Or brushing your teeth, or falling asleep at night with no effort. But you give yourself no credit for this. All moments can be the same. Or you can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason in the world. Let me back up and explain this. All moments can be the same. Good luck with that. This is about remembering to remember, if you can remember, when you remember. And humans, we forget all the time. I forget. I can be an idiot. The stuff that takes me 2 years to learn, you do like this. I'm a fast teacher, but a very slow learner. I need to hear something 1,000, 100 times. Welcome to being human. Welcome to the human of the human being expression. Everyone talks about that. The being side is getting to your heart and recognizing that wherever you put your focus is where you're going to go. It's just like surfing with your body position. And where you look, the board turns, and you have an amazing ride. I love that metaphor. It's also about gently removing ego out of the driver's seat of a stretch limo. And in the back, you've got a Secret Service agent, your guardian angel. You've got beautiful angels helping you, other members of your team, guides, relatives. You have a specific angel that's your life stage angel. They should be behind the wheel helping you drive. You don't have to drive. It's a stretch limo. This is about you having fun, more experiences, more living, more loving, more allowing, more newness, learning how to cook, travel, laughter, love, sparkle, joy, cha-cha-cha in the kitchen for no reason at all. Maybe with a glass of wine, being happy for no reason whatsoever. Now, what happens if you did that 2 different moments in the same day? What happens if you did it 5 different moments in the same day, or 50 times in a week? The more you practice it, eventually it doesn't become practice anymore. You just drop into your heart for no reason whatsoever. Start thinking about the possibilities there. And I don't want to belittle getting any answers to any questions. You can have any answer to any question. It takes a super amount of guts to put yourself out there and to trust that little voice. It's what you're doing your whole life when it's the good advice. Not the advice to jump in that Jaguar that you don't own and to take it that direction at 110 miles an hour or 150 kilometers an hour. That's the other side. I'm talking just positive, loving, supportive advice. You've had moments where your gut instinct, call it the zone from athletics, when everything slowed down on the soccer field to pitch and you were just one with the soccer ball, you knew you were going to score. The defender was over there, time either went super fast, slowed down, you just navigated perfectly, and maybe you did it 2 times in a row, or Pele, 6 times in a row. It's the zone. It's the artistic, musical, author flow, the creative flow, the force from Star Wars. Again, you can see light. You could see my aura right now if you wanted to. Look at my nose. Give yourself permission. Get to your heart. Your heart knows no limits. Your heart can do seeing without seeing. Go to my forehead and start staring here. Let me go on an old bodyboarding trip in Florida in the water. Start seeing a glow around me. It's the Zen thing they talk about, doing seeing without seeing. And getting your answers is just doing hearing without hearing. It's being. It's being in the now. It's being in the moment. It doesn't matter what I call it. It only matters that you do it from time to time, and you already do it. Give yourself credit for already having all the skills in the world to just be here. That's just being, basic allowing, taking a breath, letting the universe come in, the flow of life, the life force through you. Yoga people who do yoga, they know this. Athletes know it. Artists know it. A good business person knows it. They get yeses all the time. When they're in the zone, they can't be stopped. They pick up the phone, their vibe. They go to a meeting and they're shaking hands, closing the deal 1 minute in, and they have a great lunch afterwards. You know it when you play golf. You're not shanking the ball. Maybe a hole in one. The real question is, what will you allow for? Can you just say it out loud. Say it silently. Say it through your heart. Hey, the universe is a really big place. I could use a bigger dose of a loving reality, the fun side, more help. Give me signs. Just had a guest on Angels Positivity Love with a book called Signs. Ask for more signs. All you have to do is step out of your own way, what you know up top, out of being an adult, back into that big heart of yours where everything is possible, and watch what happens and what transforms. Basic listening, basic feeling, get hugs. The hugs can become healing. Colorblind people have seen color. And seeing. A little bit of light at first. I do it that way usually. You can see a ball of light behind me come through 2 screens to you, ball of light in my hand, pass it through 2 screens, a person gets it, sees an angel, brings it in for a hug. No big deal. I had a show host in the middle of her show, I think, stop cold because she saw an angel standing behind me right here. But you can look across the street, make it 20 houses away. Let Audrey Hepburn show up, no wings, do both. Let Mary show up next to her, Plato and Geronimo, and then Aunt Martha, whoever your relative is that you're not going to start bawling right away, but just, have a connection. Get answers, get hugs at a distance, get what you need. This is about, again, what will you allow for? Angels, guides, ancestors, relatives, your pets. It's really big. So check out my little book. Listening to Angels. It was Amazon's #2 bestseller, April 30th, 2022. It's only $4.99. It's a 15-minute read. If you think I wrote it, thank you very much. It's written by angels. The most complicated words in the whole thing are like compassion, unconditional love. There's a big picture in the appendix given by Archangel Michael. Why angels so much now? How is this even possible? I love the epilogue by an angel named Dale. He puts life into a metaphor of an undergraduate degree and a graduate degree. You got to have one before you have the other. And once you get those degrees, you're ready to get started living. And all he's basically saying is ditch what you know up here, ditch thinking, recognize there's a difference between thinking and awareness here. Once you recognize that difference, you tend to be neutral to negative this much, sometimes a lot of negativity when you're yelling at people and so on. Once you realize the difference in the energy flows, that it's a waste of energy a lot of times up here, and it's totally not a waste of energy to be here, you're living, why would you want to repeat wasting energy again? You start to learn how to save energy. So let's do it this way. You know how global warming is such a big deal. Think of it as your own personal global warming experience. Would you like to waste energy? Would you like to save energy? That's pretty much, if you just focused on that for the rest of your life and focused on the next step in front of you, you would live and lead the most fantastic life ever. So this is Michael André Ford, your American Angel Intuitive, with a little book called Listening to Angels at Amazon, and also a new show in 2023. I've already got maybe 28 guests booked through July plus, but it's a fantastic show. No time limit, just on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/at Michael André Ford. Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L. Andre like the champagne, Ford like the truck or car. Check that out. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. You're going to see a lot of amazing content coming out. I'll just call them Angel Talks with great thumbnails. So this one is about, you can have any answers to any questions, any level of detail. Who are you doing the listening with? Angels, guides, your relatives. You just have to put yourself out there and be like, hey, what do I need to know about this topic? You have to get out of here, get to here, and listen. That little voice might sound like you at the first few seconds. The second you let go, you get a high, peppy voice. The very first angel you meet is an angel named Joy, pink ball light. Photos of angels are on my website. Play-Doh, fairies, $3 each. Go grab Joy's photo, put it on your iPhone. Carry it around. A static photo, Joy's, light energy form for angels, pink, can change color, can move. A historical photo of Sai Baba, Audrey Hepburn, can wink or smile. Now, we all know historical photos shouldn't be able to move, but we're back to that theme again of no limits and the time and space thing. Again, what will you allow for? Just take a breath. Don't reject any of this. Just let it be. It's not about judging it, thumbs up, thumbs down, like the kind of gladiator days. It's just about letting it be and turn to the universe in your own way. You've got to use your lingo. You could be Catholic, Protestant, agnostic, atheist, from this country, from that country, this philosophy, this religion. It's done your way. It's like the Burger King 80s commercial. Have it your way. You have to do everything in your life your own way. You have to live your life. If you haven't lived your own life, what have you had? It's why I'm not really here to tell you anything. I'm just here to tell you you have it all already within. You have the ability to get any answer to any question, anytime, any level of detail. Start allowing more and see what happens. Just ask for a little sign. Thank you very much.